As we head toward the road to recovery, the telehealth industry is seeing a major boom in business. Here to discuss is the CEO and founder of Doxy.me, Brandon Welch. Brandon, good to see you this morning. Thanks for taking some time. Walk us through your platform. How are health care providers able to use Doxy.me?
Yeah, so Doxy.me is a simple, free and secure telemedicine platform. It's a software as a service. And so providers who typically see patients in person are often not able to do that now because of the COVID crisis, or looking for new alternative ways to see their patients. And we provide a simple and free solution for these doctors to use to see their patients. And so it's similar to Zoom, except Doxy.me is designed for healthcare. So it follows a clinical workflow where a patient will check into a room, they go to a waiting room, and patients appear in a queue, and the provider can start a call with their patient. And so it's a free telemedicine platform, software as a service, that doctors can use to see their patients.
You know, Brandon, just a few short weeks ago, your industry was seen as sort of a niche market within medicine, and now it's really the way that doctors are able to communicate with their patients. Talk to me about how you've seen business rise. What has demand been like over these past 4 to 6 weeks, and have you had to bring on workers at a time when a lot of companies, frankly, are furloughing and letting go of workers?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've been doing this about 6 or 7 years now. And telemedicine has been on a slow but steady increase over time. As you're familiar with the technology adoption curve, it was full of a lot of those innovators and early adopters. And it's every year we doubled every year, essentially, and we were very happy with our trajectory. It was growing, it's becoming more popular, but it wasn't the normal way of providing care. And a lot of doctors and healthcare providers resisted it because their current process of seeing patients worked. They came to them, patients came to them. But immediately overnight, when everything shut down, these doctors who were traditionally fine with just seeing patients in person realized that their livelihood was at stake if they didn't adapt and change. And so overnight, that technology adoption curve went to early adopters and late adopters overnight, and everybody really jumped on board. To describe the type of growth that we've seen because of this coronavirus outbreak, in February, we added about 120 new providers per day, about 2,500 providers a month. At the peak of the adoption, which is about in the middle of March, we were adding 32,000 providers per day. And we were adding more healthcare providers per hour onto the platform than we did in the entire month of February. And so it was dramatic change in how we handled that. And fortunately, our team and also our technology was able to scale to handle that type of growth. And we were able to bring on really talented people really quick. And we're also able to adapt the technology to handle this load. We had to optimize many of our processes and remove as many of the human interactions as possible. And so we implemented a lot of bots to answer a lot of common questions. We implemented a lot more videos instead of humans doing the demonstrations, the demos. We sent people to watch YouTube videos. And by optimizing these processes and automating them, we were able to scale and handle this growth.
Brandon, are government officials still getting in the way here of the industry at large?
So that's a good question. Government was often the barrier to a lot of providers adopting telemedicine in the past. Medicaid, Medicare didn't reimburse for it very well. And there were a lot more restrictions. HIPAA is an example of the restriction. Those restrictions have been lifted due to the national emergency. So actually HIPAA requirements are lifted. We still comply with HIPAA. We always have, and we always will. But with those HIPAA restrictions lifted, it opened the door for Facebook and Skype and some of the other video platforms that aren't HIPAA compliant to be used for telemedicine. So a lot more providers are using those type of systems currently during this national emergency. They will have to change once those HIPAA restrictions come back. But they are planning to, and they've also started reimbursing for telemedicine at the rates that in-person would be. We suspect that once the national emergency goes down, that the HIPAA restrictions will come back, but the reimbursements will probably stay the same because it's proven, telemedicine is being proven to be effective and efficient way to provide care. And there's really no reason not to reimburse providers for providing care by telemedicine if it's just as good as in-person care.
Brandon, I can certainly understand why your platform is white hot right now, but do you think that we are seeing a paradigm shift, and that with regards to telemedicine, that's going to be long lasting well after we're back to, quote unquote, normal post this pandemic?
Yeah, absolutely. Telemedicine was often seen as difficult to do, or it just kind of is hard to get into, and a lot of providers, there were barriers to providers adopting and use it, and they just stayed away from it. This has really forced providers to try telemedicine. They were trying something that they've never had to do before, and they avoided it because it's something new. People don't like to change. This has really forced people to do it. And now that they're doing it and they're realizing, wow, this is actually easy. And patients are realizing, wow, I don't have to get in a car and drive to my doctor's office and take off for the entire afternoon to work. This is really easy and convenient. We expect that this maybe not as busy as we are now as far as utilization, but we expect providers to continue to do it and patients to continue to ask for it after this crisis, because they've got the taste for how easy and convenient it is. And we expect those who have adopted will continue to use it to some extent going forward.
All right, let's leave it there. Brandon Welch, Doxy.me CEO. Good luck in the road ahead. Good to speak with you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.